We are starting this episode up on top of Oregon's Mount Hood with my grandson, daughter, and members of her family. We were skiing on the volcano Mount Hood. It's still an active volcano, and to tell you the truth, it is absolutely spectacular. Out there in the Pacific Northwest, it's one of many volcanoes that poke up from the wooded countryside, and of course, it feeds many of the area's mighty rivers, one of which, the Willamette, we're going to be fishing in this episode for the king of all salmon, Chinook salmon. We started our adventure at Scappoose Bay Paddling Center. Hi, this is Dave Klein, your producer and host for RAPTR Adventures. Let's go catch some salmon. So as you can see, it was a beautiful morning when we set off early in the morning, a morning in May out in the Pacific Northwest. Off in the distance, you see another one of the volcanoes that dots the landscape. That one is the infamous Mount St. Helens. Visiting the Pacific Northwest, and in particularly this area right on the border between northern Oregon and southern Washington State, is gorgeous any time of year. But here in May, when these fish, the king of all fish, the Chinook salmon, are running, it's very, very special. There's a lot of magic in the air. Every bend you go around presents you with another landscape and a beautiful sky and a photographic picture that you want to store in your memory. And thank goodness for these videos, because that way we don't have to remember it all. We can just watch it and remember. But we're looking at the sky and we're looking at how flat the river is, and we're thinking, man, this is going to be a really good day. We're setting ourselves up almost perfectly for catching these king salmon, these Chinook salmon, out here on the Willamette River, right on the border of Washington State and Oregon. And we round the bend, and there's the moon on its way around the earth on another journey. It's setting, so we see a sunrise and a moon set. And that's before we even caught our first fish. And by the way, a little spoiler here, we will catch some of these fish in this video, and toward the end, I'll show you what the wonderful, beautiful meat looks like and how we prepared some of it.
I'm here fishing on the Willamette River with Dave. We're fishing for our spring run of Chinook salmon. And I just want to go over the rig that we're using. We're using these nice long rods to help kind of spread our gear out in the water. This is a 12.5 foot rod. First, down our main line, we come to about a 14-inch dropper. We'll attach about 6 ounces of a weight here. And then a section of heavy line and a flasher. We use all kinds of different colors. Green, chartreuse, pinks are all good colors. And this just spins in the water like that and kind of attracts the fish. The fish will see it and come over to investigate. And then behind the flasher, about 3.5, 4 feet, we'll have a couple hooks, and we'll use herring or anchovies as bait. So they'll see the flasher, come in to investigate, see the bait spinning in the water, and hopefully grab it, try to eat it. And then from there, we will try and land them and reel them in. We use 2 hooks on our herring rigs, and they're size 3 hooks. One hook hangs in the back, and the other one kind of anchors the herring. And then the herring we use, let me show you. So this is what we're using for bait. Small green label or red label herring. And
what does that mean, green label or red label?
So green label and red label is the herring you buy. They're categorized by size. So a red label is about a 4-inch, 3-inch fish.
Mm-hmm.
Green label is slightly bigger, so you buy them by the size. This is a red label.
Okay.
And then in the ocean, hold on one second.
Just steering us back on course, downriver. We're headed down the Willamette River toward the Columbia River.
So in the ocean, these Chinook salmon regularly feed on herring and anchovies, among other bait fish. So we're kind of just trying to match what they eat in the ocean and hope they see it here and decide to bite it. When I go to put these on the hook, I will cut the head off at an angle like that, and that angle is what makes the bait spin in the water. So from there, I put my hook, the back hook through the side, and the front hook right through the top. And that angled cut will make that bait spin in the water and look like a wounded bait fish. And hopefully we can trick a salmon into eating it.
Okay, let's go salmon. Let's eat. It's dinner time. Let's go. Oh, there's commotion out in the water. Yep. Kevin's got a fish on.
Take a half step up, off the schooler. Good job.
Probably a king salmon, huh?
Absolutely is.
Yeah.
I saw his beautiful black spots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice spring Chinook salmon here.
Ready? I'm gonna make a move on him.
All right.
That's the idea, at least.
Oh, look at the size of that boy. A little unwieldy, huh?
He's a strong fish. Oh, there's a rod out on the other side. So we do. I think we
Come, look at, oh. Back up, back up.
He's a strong fish.
Pinwheeling us.
He's got some girth. It's fat fish, fat, healthy fish. Oh, look at that. Oh, beautiful.
There he comes.
Oh, I think I got another fish on here.
Okay. That's not a fish.
Oh, it's not? Okay. Here, I'll let you get that. Tell us what river we're in again here?
We are in the Willamette River, and this is a spring Chinook salmon, and it's one that we can keep because it's hatchery, and it's a big one.
It's huge.
Good.
That is a nice fish.
Evan's our guide.
Nice work. Thank you.
Kevin, also a guide, caught that salmon. The
All right.
Willamette River outside of Portland, Oregon. It feeds into the Columbia.
Yeah, we got a catch on the other side too. It was
see.
a double.
Is it the rare
double header.
rare stick fish? Oh yeah, there you go. Yes.
It's pre-cooked.
Isn't it amazing how they can mimic nature? You sure it's not an octopus? Oh man.
Okay, I'm gonna spin around. If we have baits on rods, let's get them back out because we are where the fish are.
Here we have a nice Willamette River spring Chinook. This fish is on its adult migratory run. It's either a 4 or 5-year-old fish. So this fish has spent 2, maybe 3 years in the ocean growing to this nice hefty size. Here in Oregon and Washington, our spring Chinook have to be fin clipped. So right here, the adipose fin has been clipped off. That's
Okay.
a legal harvest right there. And first pass of the day. It's a good way to start. We got Evan Lafty out here.
Yeah.
Putting us on some
Good
fish.
job, Evan, getting us on the fish. How many pounds do you think that fish is?
I'd all day long give this fish 15.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
good one, probably a little bigger than average for our typical spring Chinook.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll get up to 30 pounds, rarely, but they do, and 12 to 15 is kind of our average nice fish.
Yeah, and good eating fish too, huh?
Oh, the best eating fish.
In addition to being a great fishery, the Willamette and Columbia rivers and most of the other larger rivers in the area of the Pacific Northwest are major routes for commerce, as you can see. As we were fishing this spot, we were drift fishing, going up and then back, drifting and then back, drifting and then back. We were passed many times by all kinds of commercial boats, vehicles, if you will, plying the waters, taking goods and merchandise up and down the rivers to the various ports which have made the Pacific Northwest famous. So come along now as we go ahead and fire up the motor of the boat and head back up the river so we can get another drift in search of what Native Americans called the Chinook and what most settlers these days call king salmon of the great borderline area between Washington State and Oregon in the Pacific Northwest. Gosh, what a beautiful river, what a beautiful morning. 2 great guides on the boat, 1 fish already in the cooler. Things are looking good for this adventure. The top of our drift point, we've turned the motor off, we've set out the rods, and we're drifting again. And here comes this barge. I noticed this particular barge, whatever it was doing, it was working steadily throughout the morning during our fishing, up and down the river, taking loads of who knows what to who knows where. Well, don't let that lull you into a false sense of sort of sleepiness, because just as I was watching this barge, bam! Next fish was on.
For kinks too, when you have a hard incoming tide and you're kind of just right at the deadline of the ocean, nose into it, just waiting for those fish to flush in.
All right, Dave.
Yeah.
Oregon Spring Chinook. Look at that. Come on, baby. That is beautiful. Reel down to that bead. Lift towards Evan.
Slowly lift towards me.
Oh, look at the markings.
Easy, easy. Rod to the left a little bit. There you go.
You're gonna have to drop your rod tip a little bit as you reel.
Yep.
There you go. Now lift slowly when he's ready.
Rod out to the left. There you go. Looking good.
Nice work.
Let me try again.
Oh, yeah, right out, way out and down. There you go. Reel.
Nice job.
Nice job.
Nice job. Reel down to that bead one more time. Slow, steady lift towards me.
Okay. Try this way. Oh, no, he's
Oh.
Nope.
Out. There you go. Coming around. Oh. Out, way out.
Nice work. Reel.
All right, let's try it again.
Yeah.
Pinwheeling around.
Got a lot of energy.
That's right.
Okay, here we go.
Coming around. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Easy, easy. Up. Out. Way out.
And back towards me. Bring it back around.
Easy. Stubborn fish, aren't they?
Uh-huh. Okay, slow, steady lift.
Here we go. Oh, easy. Let him run. Don't. When you grab that, don't pinch the braid with your thumb. Yep. Keep him coming. Keep him coming.
He does not like the look of the boat.
Doesn't like any of us.
Yep. Okay. Coming back
Oh my God, the flasher is unclipped. We got to be careful here.
Bring him back.
Easy. Out. Come on, fish. Reel.
Real. That's the one. There we go. Slow, steady whip. Nice job.
Slow and easy. Almost got him. Almost got him. Up. He's in the net. He's in the net.
Woo-hoo!
Nice job, Dave.
All right, fantastic.
Nice work.
Wow.
I think-
That fish was, he did not like the boat at all.
That fish didn't
Let's
want to
look
come
at
in,
this.
and
Bring
look
that
at Check
sweet-
this out.
That flasher is unclipped.
Look at that right there.
That thing was.
That's not good.
Oh, one heavy run from gone.
Yep. Nice job, guys.
Oregon-
That's another good
Oregon
fish.
Springer.
That's another good
Beautiful.
fish.
Nice.
Woo!
Right here,
Sweet.
Jake.
Good job, guys.
That one. Nice job. That was a
Thank
hard
you.
fighter.
That was great. Very hard to find. Okay, so this is my first king salmon on the Willamette River in Portland, Oregon. Have a couple of great guides with us here. We've been meeting them throughout the video. I tell you, it was a fun fish to land. It didn't want to come in, kept going back toward the prop. The guides kept telling me what to do so I didn't lose the fish. Did not lose the fish, so there'll be some good eating tonight here, all right? Really great fishery here in Portland, Oregon region.
Not only is it his first king salmon, it's his first spring Chinook salmon, which is a spring king, which is the best of the Chinook salmon.
So this is the best tasting fish?
Absolutely.
This is the official fish of Oregon, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So following a long tradition from Native Americans to native Portlandians and now a guy from Pennsylvania coming all the way out to Oregon to catch one of these.
Chasing Oregon's iconic species, and there it is.
Couldn't be it couldn't be any better.
Absolutely.
And so we found our groove, we found our rhythm on the Willamette River with the king Chinook salmon and the working vessels. We went up the river and then drifted down, went up the river and drifted down, as I said. And as we did that, here are these magnificent vehicles being pushed about, motoring under their own speed, all manner of working vessel going up and down. So it gave us something to watch as we waited for and hoped for that next strike, that next hook set, that next delicious spring salmon in our boat. Well, as it so happened, we didn't have to wait long because you heard that little telltale click and run on the drag, and the next thing you know, Kevin was hooked up with another salmon. Here you go, Kevin's got one on.
There's the flash. Oh. I swear they're getting feistier as the day goes on.
Yeah.
As they're waking up,
That's a little better run.
Ooh, that's a good fish too.
He is. I don't think he wants to meet us.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I bet you he's not ready to come in yet.
Feisty.
See what I say? Not ready to come in yet.
Doing all kinds of shit.
There he is. Yeah, more spring Chinook on the Willamette River of Oregon.
That is.
Booyah. Okay, let's
Another nice sized fish.
Yes, another above average. Right.
Two guides here, Kevin and Evan. Look at that. Hold that baby up.
we got a
Let's change places because the sun's behind me.
yeah, we got a Willamette River spring Chinook salmon. Oh, you put us in reverse. Actually, give us a little gas. Or right, Greg's boat.
Just because it's
Yeah.
just, you know,
Yeah, we're having too much fun here now.
that'll ruin your day.
Yeah. So this is a Willamette River spring Chinook salmon, also known as a king salmon. And they're swimming up out of the ocean on their spawning run up into the tributaries.
So, I've heard that the flavor of the spring salmon is the best salmon of all.
Without a doubt. They leave the ocean and stop feeding, you know, in March in the springtime, and they don't spawn and lay their eggs until the fall. So they have, they're geared up with the fat content in their meat to not eat for 8 months. So when we catch them early in the spring like this, they're just loaded with fat, really good flavor.
I mean, you can see how healthy that fish is.
Nice,
Yeah.
bright, you know, a couple weeks out of the ocean. king salmon.
Hold that fish up sideways. I'll get a flip him up here like this. There you go. Get a really good view of the coloration.
Yeah.
Look at that.
They got
It's
some
beautiful.
green and purple on their backs.
Yeah, it depends which way it flashes in the light.
That's
huh?
right. They're beautiful fish. And this is
Black
a,
spots.
Big, beautiful black spots. And tell us what the bait that we're using today.
we're using mostly herring and anchovies, but
Okay.
the herring have been getting the bite so far.
Okay, so good on the herring. Yeah, beautiful fish. Beautiful.
Get him in the box.
Good job. Good job, Kevin.
Thank you. Let's get another one.
Yeah, let's get another one.
So with that fish, Kevin limited out. You're allowed to have 2 Chinook salmon in that season in Oregon. So we turned the boat around and headed back upriver. It was my turn next, and there at the sort of left center of the picture you see Mount St. Helens. I mean, I can't tell you how inspiring it was to be on this iconic river with Mount St. Helens in the background. You may recall that Mount St. Helens erupted back in the 80s and created quite a stir. But meanwhile, it is just such a beautiful sight to go up this river. I am going to stop talking for a little bit and just allow the music and the imagery on the video of going up the Willamette River with Mount St. Helens in the picture just to entertain you for a little bit.
So here we are. This is one of the two great keeper fish I got to bring back from a wonderful day of spring Chinook fishing on the fabulous Willamette River. My guide Evan made sure we had a great day out, and of course we had a biologist with us for a while too. His name was Kevin. So I was with Kevin and Evan just rocking the Pacific Northwest and these magnificent animals. I can hardly wait to get home and have one for supper. So hey, Kevin, thanks a lot. Evan, thanks a lot. See you next time out on the river. So now some of this delicious Chinook salmon freshly caught in the Willamette River is getting browned up. It started with the sous vide over here, like a water bath, for a little while. And now it's getting plated up. We're gonna have this with some roasted potatoes and onions and some fresh asparagus that's been also popped in the oven for a little bit. So yum and yum. Here's the sous vide, the water bath. So this is the finished product after a full day, up before sunrise in the shadow of Mount St. Helens, fishing with Kevin and Evan on the Willamette River for the highly prized spring Chinook salmon. We got our limit, came back, daughter Heather cooked it all up in her wonderful way, and this is the end result, and we'll give it a little taste now and see if it lives up to its reputation. Oh man, it's really, really, really good. So there you go. Can't get any better than that. Beautiful Chinook salmon in spring on the Willamette River in the Pacific Northwest near Portland, Oregon. Thanks to my fishing guide, Kevin. You did a great job. And thanks to my fishing guide, Evan, you did an even greater job.